Hey guys, Arm&Gun here. Today we're going to talk about the FAMAE family of rifles. So, my set's falling apart here. So, well, for starters, I guess, really quickly, just going to talk about these three. These are the three FAMAEs I currently have in my possession. This is a Mini SAF, SAF. This was basically a new thing from FAMAE. Whereas FAMAE licensed the Sig 540 series of rifles, they licensed that design. This is a 542 in 308, this caliber here. This is a 543, which is the SBR version of the 540, chambered in 223 or 556. So they licensed those designs. This is their own blowback pistol caliber, SMG basically, and it is something they came up with themselves, as far as I know. They have the SAF, which is a longer version. Kind of looks something more like just an MP5. And then if you got your MP5K, that's what this is meant to look like, your Mini SAF. There is also an SAF 200, which is more of a futuristic looking version of the SAF. I should have one of those coming to me sometime in the next 6 months or so. Fresh import from Chile. So kind of excited for that. Again, I'll talk about these each on their own. This is a factory side folding side folding stock. These are awesome little pistol caliber carbines or little SMGs, featuring ambi safety selectors like an AR, adjustable trigger. They even have a last round bolt hold open and bolt catch and release right here. Flapper lock. This is an aftermarket mag that was fashioned out of a Canadian SMG, basically like a Sten mag, or the SMG carbines, the Canadian issue ones. Anyways, there's other versions of these that are European, I believe, design. I'm getting a bit off topic. This was, at the end of the day, this was a custom profiled magazine. You do a couple cuts on the back here to get them to fit properly. But they can function in these. They would need more modification to function properly. They just function more so. I just have this for the curved appearance. As a factory mag for this guy is straight, and it just was somewhat lacking that. I mean, that still looks pretty cool on its own, but I just felt it was lacking the MP5 curved mag look. So a guy that was doing these in Canada offered to send me one, so I picked up one just for looks. Anyways, that's the Mini SAF, chambered in 9mm. Next up, we'll look at the 543. Again, this is an SBR. These are restricted in Canada, treated like handguns, so a lot more. I can't just take this in my backyard and fire it, unfortunately, and unless I had a restricted range that was licensed set up, then I could do that. But at this point in time, I don't have one. This does have an Acr adapter on it. Factory stocks look a bit different, quite a bit different. The factory stocks are interchangeable between all the models. Even this little guy back here, you simply just pop it off. It's a little screw, and it would, this folding one could go on here. Here it is again. This is a folding one that's just removed from any rifle at the point in time, but you can toss it on these really quickly. They take the same pattern magazines that the Sig 550 series take. They have a little dovetail here for an optics mount that hooks back into the rear sight. The Mini SAF features the same thing, it's just a slightly shorter rail. And this one is 223. It's got a 15x1 metric thread pitch on here. This is just a surefire device that I got for a different rifle, but I tossed it on there just because I could. So again, Alex with GS Designs makes the folding adapters for the ACR, for the ACR stock folding adapter for both the FAMAE series of rifles and the Sig 550 series of rifles. I'll get into more detail with that later, but also the little trigger shoe there to adjust the trigger and get rid of the over travel stop is something else he does. Lastly, there's the 542 chambered in 308. I did a shooting video of this, which you've seen. The end of the shooting video, somehow my muzzle brake shot right off on the 5th shot. I really don't know how that happened. It's even got a jam nut tightening it down. It must have just not been tight enough and must have loosened off enough. They also must have these to tighten up tolerance that even being slightly you know, non-concentric. They must catch, and man, took it for a ride. I walked away till I found that thing, but thankfully it didn't seem to harm the threads, so I got that back on there. This also has a folding stock, and these series of rifles, SIGs and FAMAEs, when the brass ejects, the rear of the case deflects off of the top receiver there, and it just mars it up and pulls off the finish, wears down the paint. So it's pretty common for guys, even that use them in the field or they just want to maintain the finish there. They'll put a piece of electrical tape or duct tape, or even better yet, adhesive fuzzy Velcro lasts pretty long. So just to keep those clean. Again, I'll do a specific video on all of these individually to go into a little more detail. Just wanted to give an overall quick snapshot of the family. Thanks guys, see you next time.